All right. Let's see if we're actually up and going here. Sure does kind of look like it. All right, so welcome. As soon as I get this up here, get a thumbnail up for that thing. There we go. Thumbnail. Why not? All right. So, hey, there's Desi in the chat already. Buenos tardes. Yes. Welcome to the chat. Bill is here with me as well. So if
Hey,
you,
Desi.
Bill says, hey, Desi, I think you might have been there. I think so. All right. Let's make sure everything else is good to go. That is set to gaming. That's not right. Blah, blah, blah. Wow, man. Hell yeah. Look at this. Look at this already going for me. Excellent. I was able to do some pre stuff. Excellent. So, hey, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. This is Rob here at Smirking Gun. And, you know, we were thinking, screw it. We always sit here talking about stuff, and we could be watching Pluribus right now and then rushing back to watch Critical Role. But, I do a video for Pluribus tomorrow night, and there's nothing wrong with waiting till tomorrow to watch it. You can still watch it with me tomorrow, right, Bill?
Yeah,
I know you're going to watch it anyway. I have a feeling you're going to watch it like sometime in the middle of the night after
it
Critical
can wait
Role.
a day. It can wait
Um,
a day.
yeah. So I decided I wanted to do some talking about Critical Role episode 7 before we even do the halftime show, because hey, maybe I won't even get to do the halftime show today. Um, it depends on whether or not, when the game goes to break. Um,
Mm,
you
Yeah,
never know.
sometimes they run
Yeah,
late. It'd
but
be nice if it started like an hour before it does,
yeah. Anybody else out there
especially.
who watches this later or something, agree that, I mean, if the games aren't live anymore, then why are we going so late outside, other than the obvious, which is brand, right? It's on brand, it's sticking with the brand, it's not changing any of that too much. But this campaign is all about change, and I feel like if we're changing so much there, then embrace, why not embrace airing it maybe an hour or so earlier, uh, just because it's already so late. You're grateful for your insomnia, like it went like to like 2 a.m. my time once. Yeah, if you can't sleep, for sure. And I mean, I've pushed myself to the limits, and I used to stay up for the whole thing. And I mean, on Thursday nights, I mean, my Fridays have never changed at my job, right? I still have loads. I have to be there early, and I would still stay up sometimes. But now I just don't do it as much, if at all. If at all, I make it to halftime, and that's why I was like, I'm not ready to go to bed, but I'm not ready to keep watching for another. Um, and we've gotten so much Critical Role stuff lately. I mean, they've got the sale at the store. They just put out the Four Jester Wedding from New York, which again, I don't, like people, I know people don't actually like it to hear when people got to do something, like if your friends do, but like most regular people don't want to hear, oh, I got to go to the New York live show, but I get to watch it too because I've been sitting on all of that information for like a month, more than a month, and been wanting to know what other people thought about the live show. The stuff I sent you, so cool. Oh yeah, that you sent Desiree sent me a link to. I was commenting on Sam's shirt the other day, and I don't think she was even in the conversation, or I was watching something, and where she sent me a link to was where that shirt is, but it's like all Critical Role stuff. It's fantastic looking. Um,
Awesome.
I mean, I'm not buying them right now, but I know I like knowing now that there's a place to go to. Um, so we got the Ford Jester wedding, and since Bill hasn't seen it, I'm not going to talk about it, except to say, like, yeah, total coincidence on that one. It, I can't begin to tell you how
Making my way
awesome it
through the.
was to be at that show and turn to the, like, you're looking at the cameras and you see Laura's face and you realize she's like about to walk down the aisle, and then you turn to the left and there's Laura standing there as Jester, blue and all the horns and in her own little wedding dress, walking all the way down the aisle of Radio City Music Hall in front of everyone, like the entire place, just like goes crazy. The entire place goes nuts. And this is at the beginning. Okay. This isn't like when they actually, like, oh, they waited to do this and then had her come back behind everybody. This was like right up front. It's like, what an amazing moment. Um, but that's the only part I'll say, except that the Radio City Music Hall is a beautiful place on the inside. Seating is the seating. It's like no, it's no different. In fact, I mean, it's just a seat. Like I don't know why what I was expecting. I guess I was expecting maybe fancier, but it wasn't. The seating wasn't fancy. Um, but it was a once in a lifetime thing, and I'm glad everybody else gets to see it. And when you get to the fight that's in that episode, I mean, again, I couldn't believe how many people didn't know what was going on, but I think I'm only acting like that because you can attest, Bill, that I was already being
Yeah,
like, I know who it
you
is.
called
I know what it's going to be. It just makes sense that it's
it
this.
before the episode.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, I called it like way before I went. It's
yeah,
like logically, this is the only story beat that I think
yeah,
makes sense, and it
yeah.
was
The
exactly that. And, um,
like unresolved.
yeah, unresolved stuff that makes perfect sense to finally resolve it here. And because it involves Jester. And he's like, where's the conflict, right? You need to know what the conflict is. You can't just I mean, you can, but what would be worth going to Radio City Music Hall for just a wedding and some characters talking and stuff? There has to be conflict.
Yeah, or you don't
So,
have a story.
or you don't have a story. So the conflict was amazing. Um, then also, we got the Mighty Nine this week, which I just finished
Yeah,
reviewing. And that's just beyond, it blows away all my expectations.
yeah.
Blew any expectations. Any problems I thought I was going to have, anything that was jarring as far as like voice acting went, it's all out the window. It's, it's so good. It's so freaking good. And any changes that they made make sense. They make sense. Even if like, it's like, there's a couple of beats where I'm like, why? But then it's like, oh, it's because this is a way to give exposition uh, and make a
Mm.
character more interesting, giving a character more stuff to do, kind of like with, I mean, like with Essek, right? It's like, okay, how do we can talk about this thing by showing a character having to deal with another character's having this affliction and tying that into the overall plot gives that character more depth. and it's something that was missing from the actual play. But and it didn't need it there. But since you're switching to television or a movie, you have to have something that explains something. And rather than make it an exposition dump, they literally create a character that would represent the thing, you know, and make them important enough to another character for us to give a shit that they're giving us this exposition in that way. Um, so that's been going on, and then next week there's one episode, and I'm so excited to see them start episode 2 of campaign 2 because when I mentioned this in the review, which is that the first 3 episodes of the show is from the first episode of the campaign.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't go past the first episode of the campaign. It just has a bunch of things from session 0 or, you know, things that they just decided to change to fit a show format.
Yeah.
And so now, like in episode 4, we're on episode 2, which is great, which is freaking great because that means that the story, they're not rushing the story. As many changes that there are, they're not rushing it. That's amazing. Because you know how, like, a lot of times it's the opposite, is that you'll have a bunch of things happen in one episode that represent multiple episodes. Like, I think that's the way it is on that One Piece show, where I think they take like several episodes and then put it into one episode. And then you end up trimming stuff. And if anything, any of the changes that they've made to the Mighty Nine animated series adds to it instead of takes anything away.
And I'm sure they'll end up doing that because the Mighty Nine, like, table campaign is 600 hours,
Yeah, that's a lot. Oh my God,
140
600
episodes.
hours. That's like how much time we've put into Baldur's Gate. More than that. No, a little less. Who knows? Um, and now we're up to we're talking campaign 4, episode 7 coming out tonight. And I mean, I'll ask you both, like, because you're both here, right? Do you guys think that they've done enough? Do you think that since the overture, 5 and 6, like, are you glad that they're sticking with the soldiers table,
Um,
or are you wishing that they would switch literally every episode?
Maybe not every episode, but like if they get to like a pretty good stopping point, it'd be nice to switch, rotate a little. But I
Uh,
can understand if they.
yeah. I'll let Desi have time to type whatever she's got it already. I think it's a shorter mission, so it will probably be done before the other's story. See, my feeling on it is that there needs to be don't cut away until there's resolution
Hmm.
on at least one thing, which would be Sid. And I have a feeling that we're catching up to Sid in episode 7. So if they can at least have accomplished that goal, now whether or not they get Casimir in the same episode, like if where one is, the other is also, they could resolve both things tonight. And that would depend, and we'll find out when they drop it on Beacon, and I see how long the episode is. If this is like a 5-hour episode, we better they better have gotten like some resolution. So I'm kind of predicting that there's a good chance that episode 8 will be switching back to one of the other teams if they get a resolution from something. And I think any time where you have like that, okay, we've accomplished to find Sid, and then set up like the next step, then you go back to the Seekers or the Schemers table, and then go from there and let them get to some kind of beat. But then that would mean like, who do you think like uh, Desi says they're on specific quest, and I can't imagine it being dragged out as much. Whereas the seekers and schemers are going to take a lot longer. Yeah, there. It doesn't seem like they have like exactly a specific thing that they're going after yet with the schemers and the seekers. Um, I mean, the schemers have the coffin to examine, I guess, to try to find that other mask. Um, what else did they get? Because that's Azune again, and it might deal with just a lot of their inner, their lives, like Hal at the theater, Azune at his job, Murray at her job, the living mask doing whatever the living mask does. He still works at the museum, so
This, I guess the Seekers have House Daconis.
yeah, the Seekers have House Daconis. So are they going after them? Like, are they literally going to chase those people down, or because they're the schemers, right? Or no, they're the seekers. That so who are they seeking? Are they just specifically going after Primus? The schemers got to gather intel and dirt on the sundered houses to turn them against each other. Okay, yeah. So maybe a thing at the theater, right, where they could spy on people. The Seekers are looking for Taisha's son. Okay, I kind of lost track of the plot for that. So I heard mention of Taisha's son.
There's a
Oh,
lot of
because
spinning.
of Octus's vision. Again, going back to the vision that I like went right past me. It went right past me. I remember hearing about the vision of seeing an orc that might be Hal,
Tiaji.
might be Fiazi. And then I was what Valus went through in episode 5 a vision or just her remembering her past? Do you know what that was? Was it just a literal memory of her
Yeah, it
thinking,
was it was Bayless. Yeah, she was remembering her past, and like
okay.
her mom was like telling her like how to remember something.
And if you're wondering, and if anybody was wondering why we're just sitting here on a game menu screen, it's because I wanted to have everybody here and I didn't know how else to do it because I don't, again, this is a do-it-yourself channel. You do what you have to get your video up in the way you want to do it. So that's why it's
No
on,
budget.
but to be fair, I like that it says thank goodness you're here because anybody that's here, thank goodness you're here. I think it kind of fits.
Yeah.
Um, she was recalling her past. Okay. Um, moments. So yeah. This if they're going after Taisha's son, that's at least something. Um, are you more interested in seeing the Seekers return first or the Schemers return first? Because to me, I want the Schemers because Hal and Azune haven't really gotten much to do yet.
Mm. Yeah.
I feel like everybody else has gotten really meaty stuff. Octus's vision, he heard drums that they specifically pinpointed as the drums of the group. Julian trains, okay. And so assume that Orc is Taisha and Hal's kid. Hmm. Okay.
That could be interesting.
Yeah. Um. So yeah, Hal and Azune have not had much to do. Hal's been
Oh,
dealing with the funeral and the theater and kids. Azune has been watching other people leave. I mean, he did have the scene. He had the scene where he learned some things that sent him right back to everybody else, but he hasn't been able to do anything. And then Murray and Bolaire. I mean, well, who doesn't want more of the living mask? The living
Yeah,
mask. I want that now. So
yeah.
I
There's
just,
so many questions.
yeah. Now that I know, I'm obsessed with how this thing operates. Like how
And
Talison's gonna play him more and more. How many bodies is he gonna jump? Because I mean, honestly, it doesn't matter if the body dies. He's created an immortal character that, as long as the mask isn't destroyed, right? He
mm,
just jumps
yeah,
to another body. Now, what are the rules to that? Okay. Like, how long can the mask go? Like, say the body dies and nobody takes the mask. Will the
mm,
mask just sit there and wait,
till
or
the
is
end.
it connected
Yeah.
to it organically where it will die if it's attached to dead flesh for too long,
Mm. A lot of interesting questions.
right? Like, can it get off on its own? Could it like hot bodies when it wants to? You know, could that be like? Can you imagine if they're in a fight and like sudden and then Taliesin just goes, okay, and then I jump onto
Yeah,
the guy who's attacking me's face,
yeah, I I rip off my mask and put it on
right?
him.
Like if he,
Yeah.
you know, just like, oh, this guy's bigger than me, I'll just take him. I mean, the potentials are there. We just don't know what the rules are. I think the mask can move okay on its own. This is what Desi says. I think the schemers are way more of a motley crew, so their dynamic is so much weirder, especially not knowing if Bolair was lying or not about the Aussie. Yeah. He said he had just been left neglected collecting dust, essentially, and then decided to go out into the world. So, what is he like? The feather in Forrest Gump? he just he could just like get caught on a breeze, and or does he like roll, or
Like
does it?
he's like the Terminator in that later movie where he like after he killed him, he just opened a drapery shop.
Yeah.
What was that like? I don't even remember what the name of it was. Like the later Terminator reboot that didn't do so well.
It levitates.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
okay.
he was created for a purpose, and now he doesn't have a purpose, so he found something.
Yeah. Well, the mask was created, right, magically to kill a god. So I guess the origin
And
we have to track down who made the mask. Is there anybody
and
that
he's a warlock, so
yeah,
is it like his patron?
good question.
Like he used command, which is typically tied to the fiend subclass. So it's a question like, did a demon make this to kill a god or a devil?
Yeah, don't know. That's
Yeah.
what and then the other mask, right? Halflings built a mask to perform a play to kill a trickster god. Yes. So the other mask, though, like, there's more questions there. Like, do the masks know each other? Like, what was the other one built for? Those are the things that I'm most interested in, um, as far as that. Now, as far as tonight goes, I mean, the halfling costume is tied to the mask. Coffin, not costume. Um, but yeah, as far as tonight goes, right, where we left off, they're they're already like tore up again, right? They were almost like Wikander's
Yeah, the
almost
Ranger
dead.
3.
So can they do a short rest or do they need a full rest? And again, it comes down to those questions of how much more distance do they put between themselves and Sid.
Hmm.
And if Sid's captured, then you know how long can they wait? How far away are they willing to like? Because every time they do this, it slows everything down. But Brennan, I can imagine, knows how to keep things tight so that they can still, you know, catch up if they need to. But I think they can only really do a short rest to be that much faster. He's been gone he was already gone for 2 days, right? They said that Sid had left 2 days ago and he's not at the tree. So he still could be 2 days away. But does that mean you risk being like 3 days away? And then how do you catch up from that? So I don't know.
Yeah.
I think that that's
I assume
probably,
Sid would still have to rest at night.
yeah. And maybe the people that have him have to rest too. I don't know. Because that's what I think. I mean, they said in that vision that was it the little which fairy or pixie was it? Honeysuckle? Was it honeysuckle? Um, all the masks are connected for the same goal. Okay. Sid is 2 days ahead. We also don't know if Sid even listened to the Fae to go to the tree. The hag. The hag, that's right, the hag is the one who sent him there. I liked that hag. I thought that was pretty cool. Um,
I really like Skinner, the other
Skitter!
cat.
Yeah, that was one of the more fun elements that I've ever seen Brennan do myself. I haven't watched a lot of Dimension 20. Um, but what I've seen is he's pretty good at NPC creation, but Skinner just being, you know what he reminds me of a little bit is the one robot from Futurama that likes to stab people.
Oh,
Oh, ah, ah, just kind of a freak. I can't remember what that character's called. It's been a million years,
yeah.
but it's like didn't he call
Roberto?
Roberto? Yeah, I was gonna say, isn't it something like ah! He has that same kind of energy to me. I'm gonna spill blood. The Hag's vision, you only had half of the information. You just heard voices. So there's an uncertainty as to who is actually the traitor, meaning either Sid or Casimir, right? So we could still be surprised and have it be Sid be the villain and Casimir
What?
being
Yeah. Have it be like Lion King
what
with Brother Scar.
where Sid is Scar.
Yeah.
Well, that means that Tiamat is Mufasa, and he's probably going to get crushed by a bunch of wildebeest, or in this case, maybe an army of the undead in the woods. Um, but that's fantastic. Um, now I want to. Sid has black fur, classic baddie look. So tyranny. What do you guys think about tyranny and her own like crazy shit that's going on with the knife that she had. And she has her own, she has a vision too, right? Like when she looks into the knife, it becomes magical. It was just a knife
Yeah.
before, and somehow now it's magical.
Was it cursed?
But
Because
also
she's
the
a
same,
demon?
didn't the same thing also happen with the tinsel sword that Thimble had?
Uh, Thimble was just given a magical sword, I believe,
Okay.
that can animate. It was like a toy. It could
Yes.
animate, like brings an object to life.
Uh-huh.
But Sir Stagathy,
Yeah.
fucking deer. Yeah.
But she saw in it, she saw Olned, right?
Yeah.
Freaking out. And then
Just yeah.
when they gave it
Devastated.
back to him, he was all fine.
Yeah, that
So
was
she touches
unusual.
something and it's what's the significance about the knife?
Mm.
Like, because I think Desi has more of a thoughts on this one of her nature.
It's
Cadigan didn't
suffering.
take the whole knife. Cadigan didn't take the whole knife. I I didn't catch where it
I
was. Yeah, what did you explain that? He kept the blade. So he kept the blade, but he sent back the handle.
I thought he sent back the knife and then it was sent back with a note.
Now the note came back, starting to yawn. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't. I just didn't remember that part either. It's so hard to pay attention to every single thing, man.
Yeah.
That's why it's like I said. I think I need to start watching it on Beacon so that I can rewind if I have to, and then jump ahead if I've not missed anything. Yep, he just sent just the handle
Recaps are very
because he takes a
useful.
point to mention he found the initial note odd. So wait, he kept oh, because the note that they found, right? They found a note from him, right? Before they sent it back, or was the note from when he sent it back?
I think I think it's the returning note. I think.
So who still has the blade? Are you saying Cadigan still has the blade, or Olned has the blade? Cadigan has the blade. Okay.
Yeah.
Again, I did not catch that. I don't know how I missed it, but and let's see.
There's some question as to Tyranny's
Yes,
abilities
yeah,
and how it might relate to her name.
tyranny.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Like, does she have influence over people?
So I think something
Because
is up
like
with the blade
they
itself.
brought the knife back and he was like, "No, you can keep it," even though he's like desperately looking for it. A little strange.
Yeah, that is strange. Um, so then how many more things, like what are the, is this going to happen all the time when she touches something, or does it have to be something stolen, or does it have to be, I guess that would be my big question on that. But other than that, I mean, as far as like the rest of the characters go, I mean, there's not tons and tons to like go on and on about for what we think is going to happen here. It's either to catch Sid or not. I guess the other question is there going to be like again, like the cold open, uh, are we going to have anything that connects to this story this week, or are we going to like suddenly
Yeah,
do a
like a
like
little,
something from the schemers?
yeah,
You
like a
know,
little, yeah, like a little taste to tide you over.
I don't need it. I don't I don't need to be tided over. I just think that it's interesting that they're doing it like that when they're clearly filmed on a different day when they could. Like, here's what I think. I think that there's a good chance that we'll see a Sid Taylor flashback for a cold open. But that's
Mm.
what I thought it would have been last week. But since Sid wasn't even in the episode, maybe it makes more sense that it'll happen tonight. Um, so I'm hoping for a decent cold open too. And I don't think there's anything new on the store. But since the episode's going to be coming up pretty soon, and we'll be wanting to have some time before it starts to get ourselves together. Again, just wanted to do this and have some fun and talk to my friends who actually pay way more attention. They're not they're watching the show, and both Desi and Bill have seen way more than I'm catching. Uh, or at least they're nailing things that I wish that I had caught the first time around. Tyranny says she has poison immunity, so immediately knows she's an abyssal tiefling. Okay. Yeah, that's, I think, one of the other things which are connected to demon heritage far more strongly is we're still not fully like other campaigns we understood who our characters' classes were. And in this, I feel like our character classes are just being kind of opened up like a flower a little bit. Like each time they do something, it's like gives us go, oh, this sounds like this sounds like that. Kind of like how we're seeing the powers play out in the Mighty Nine cartoon, where we're seeing the embodiments of things that they don't even know. Like Bo doesn't know Stunning Strike. She's learning it, right?
Mm.
When you see Vox Machina, right? They just do their thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to do
Yeah.
this, and so they do it. In the Mighty Nine, it has been I didn't know I could do that, or I'm in search of the ability to do that. You know, Nat fires a crossbow, but rogues, rogues, man. But like the other characters either don't know that what they're doing, they don't have control of what they're doing, they don't know how they got what they were doing. So it's way different. And it kind of is like this, where it's like, Wickander turns, all bright light, and he's like, I don't even know how I did that. Uh, Yeah, like Cadigan is a ranger, but he knows spells that rangers don't know. Like the only feat he could take to give him his spells is magic initiate, but it don't make sense why someone like Cadigan would choose that kind of feat being a wild man. Absolutely. Yeah. Or like, because I didn't understand, how Teor would have guiding bolt, but
It's his subclass,
it's a
Oath of
sub.
Glory.
See, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Is you have to like find something called Oath of Glory. You know what I mean? Like they're not just one thing. And we're finding out pretty organically the different things that are leading us towards, oh, they're this, they're that. And it's kind of fun to be able to play with what their classes are going to fully be revealed to be. Um, well, anyway, I'm trying to think of more to say because Thimble really doesn't, like, other than her interactions with the fairies and the pixies and stuff, which was really fun. I mean, that's a magic forest if I've ever seen one, man. There's like red caps, fairies, pixies, myconids. You got a
Shambling
hag,
mounds.
shambling mounds. Like this is literally like a magic
A
forest that,
dryad
yeah.
pulling a chariot full of trees or something.
Yeah, like Taylor doesn't understand his light. He points out he doesn't know why his lion emblem is glowing. Yeah. So these characters' power sets are blooming in front of us, and it's kind of fun that way. It keeps you
I believe
guessing.
we know all the subclasses now
Yeah.
of the soldiers table.
Oh, you'll have to fill me in. What are they? Because I don't.
Okay, uh let's see, Wick's a divine soul sorcerer,
Yeah.
Cadigan's a beastmaster ranger, Tyranny's a fiend warlock.
Hmm.
So that's interesting that both Tyranny and Belair might be a fiend warlock. I wonder
Hmm.
if they could be connected, have the same patron possibly.
Hmm.
It's a possibility.
Okay.
Uh uh Thimble's a swashbuckler rogue, and Taor's Oath of Glory paladin.
Okay. So that sounds way more in depth than, like, say, anybody at Campaign One. And while Ford was a paladin warlock, everybody else was pretty straight up, right?
Well, they all had their own subclasses. Arcane Trickster.
Well, sure, and that was for Jester, right? Or was that not?
That was not
No.
Arcane Trickster. Jester was.
Oh, is it Warcaster?
No, that's a feat.
Okay. It's weird how they'd explain patrons since gods are dead. Exactly.
Trickery Domain Cleric.
What
Jester's
domain cleric?
Trickery Domain.
Trickery domain. Okay.
So they all had their own subclasses.
Well, what was Bo? She was just a monk, right?
Oh, Way of the Cobalt Soul.
Way of the Cobalt Soul. And what about Caleb?
Caleb. What was it called? I want to say Transmutation Wizard,
Hmm. Okay.
but I'm not 100% on that.
Okay. All right. Well, we've got about half an hour before the show starts. So, like I said, this is just some fun where I get to talk to my other two friends about things that are going on in the Critical Role universe and things that I missed because I've been encouraging uh, them to, at least Desi for sure, like give me your knowledge because clearly I can't spot everything. So I love hearing about all the things that I didn't catch on my first viewing or second viewing, which I know I'm going to be doing because tomorrow's going to be a busy day. I'm going to try to finish Critical Role Camp episode 7 and then Pluribus, live stream for Pluribus afterwards, and then recording another Outer Rim podcast video on Saturday for Monday. I think we're going to be talking about holidays and traditions uh, for this coming video, unless he wants to put out the AI one that we did. But I think we should put out the holiday one. That's just how I roll. Talk about traditions. But anyway, we're going to head out and get ready for campaign 4, episode 7. So anybody who watches this in the future or whatever, don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and we will be back with more content. I gotta probably turn this thing off now. So what's Desi say here? Yes, I'm actually able to keep up with this one. Couldn't see past campaigns. So glad I could jump in on this one. I'm glad too, because you retain way too much information. No, it's not. There's no such thing. Um,
Mhm.
no, that was one of the things that I was wondering about from campaign 3 was like, where's Desi? But after a while, I just stopped. I didn't want to like, pry into somebody's life or why they weren't watching or doing anything. But I'm the same way. That's why I'm glad to be talking about this from the start because my brain wouldn't let me jump in the middle of campaign 3. But there's other reasons
Mhm.
too. That's just one excuse. That's just one excuse for why I didn't. But now it's a different story.
Lots of different
Yeah.
things.
So anyway, have a great night, everybody. See you at the halftime show, and then otherwise see you on one of my other videos. So have a great night. Bye.